Most people spend their lives chasing a technical impossibility, a reality that is 100% positive. They have been sold the idea that success, happiness, and evolution mean eliminating the negative pole of existence. They want a battery that only has a plus sign. But, as any basic engineer can tell you, a battery with only one pole is not a power source. It is a piece of dead metal. Without the difference in potential between the positive and the negative, there is no flow of electrons. There is no current. There is no light. If your life feels stagnant, if you feel like you are stuck in a neutral zone where nothing moves, it is likely because you are trying to suppress one of your poles. Today, we open the files on the Law of Polarity. We are going to explore why negative experiences are technically necessary for your advancement, how to stop being a victim of the pendulum, and how to find the neutral point, the place where the mechanic actually operates. Before we begin the diagnostic, our fundamental protocol remains active. Do not believe a single word of this session. Belief is a passive state. It's like reading a circuit diagram, but never plugging in the machine. In the Universal Laws Lab, we only value verification. Take these principles, apply them to the emotional or financial voltage of your life right now, and look at the data. If this information allows you to manage your energy more efficiently, then it is functional. We deal in mechanics, not mysticism. The Law of Polarity states that everything in this simulator is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. But here is the technical secret. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Think of a thermometer. Where does cold end and heat begin? There is no physical line. Cold and heat are simply two poles of the same phenomenon, temperature. They are the same energy, vibrating at different frequencies. The same applies to light and dark, love and hate, abundance and scarcity. In the human simulator, we call the poles good and bad, but these are subjective labels. From a mechanical perspective, they are just vibrational extremes. When you understand that the problem you are facing is just the other end of the solution you are seeking, you stop fighting the energy and start shifting the frequency. You don't destroy the negative, you recalibrate it into the positive. Why does the law of evolution require a negative pole? Why can't we just learn through joy? In a closed system, movement requires a difference in potential. If everything were perfect and positive, there would be no impulse to move, to learn, or to change. You would be in a state of entropy, total stillness. The negative pole, which we often experience as pain, loss, or friction, is the anode of your evolution. It provides the pressure. It is the check engine light that forces you to open the hood. Without the contrast of the negative, you would have no way to quantify the positive. You only know the value of abundance because you have processed the data of scarcity. You only recognize peace because you have survived the noise of conflict. The reality mechanic doesn't fear the negative pole. He recognizes it as raw energy waiting to be processed. He knows that the deeper the pendulum swings into the negative, the more potential energy it collects to swing back into the positive. The error isn't the existence of the negative pole. The error is getting stuck in it because you refuse to learn the lesson it is trying to deliver. Everything in our reality flows out and in. Everything has its tides. This is the rhythm of the law of polarity. The pendulum swings to the right. Then, it must swing to the left. Most humans are victims of the pendulum. When things are good, they are terrified of the swing back to the bad. When things are bad, they are hopeless, thinking the swing will never return. They are emotionally lashed to the bottom of the pendulum, getting dizzy with every movement of their reality. The mechanic, however, understands the law of neutralization. While he cannot stop the pendulum from swinging, because that is a law of the universe, he can choose to rise above it. He doesn't sit at the bottom of the arc. He moves to the pivot point. From the pivot point, you can observe the oscillation without being moved by it. You see your bank account go down and you think, the potential for the upswing is being accumulated. You see a relationship end and you think, the space for a new frequency is being cleared. You stop being the ball that is thrown and start being the hand that holds the rhythm. How do we find this pivot point? Through emotional neutrality. Neutrality is not indifference. It is the technical state of acceptance. When you accept that the negative pole is a necessary part of the circuit, it loses its power to cause you suffering. Suffering is what happens when you try to stop the pendulum with your bare hands. To transmute energy, to turn the negative into positive, you must use the shift of frequency. 1. Identify the negative state, for example, fear. 2. Locate its positive pair, courage or certainty. 3. Understand that they are the same energy. 4. Stop feeding the fear end of the scale with your attention, and start focusing on the information required to move toward the certainty end. You don't fight the darkness, you turn up the light. You don't fight the poverty, you install the internal information of value. It is a mechanical adjustment of your internal focus. This week, we are going to audit your battery. Identify the area of your life where you feel the most negative charge right now. It could be a person who irritates you, a debt that haunts you, or a fear that paralyzes you. For the next 7 days, you will perform the polarity reversal. Every time the negative thought arises, you will repeat, "This is the negative pole of my battery. It is currently providing the voltage I need to move. What is the positive frequency of this same energy?" If the problem is debt, the positive pole is value management. If the problem is loneliness, the positive pole is self-integration. Find the name of the positive pole and focus exclusively on the information needed to reach it. Stop fighting the anode. Use the current. You are a complex electrical system in a perfectly balanced universe. There are no bad poles, only unmanaged energies. Document your findings. Verify the law. We will be here to analyze the results in the next session. I am your guide. This is the Universal Laws Lab.